Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Netflix of Horror. We feel uncomfortably close tonight, but it's just us two, so I'm hoping the framing is right. We've got a new pillow added to you. How are you finding that for comfort?
It's quite good, although it's sticking me in the face. The corner's kind of sticking me in the face.
I'll let you have a shot of it exclusively later, but for now we're here to talk about another movie of our Netflix of Horror series called Splinter.
Yeah.
Do you know when it was made?
2000, gonna take a guess at 12?
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Recent-ish, but not that.
Relatively unknowns that are in it, except from it also stars the guy that played Steve Buscemi's brother in Boardwalk Empire, who's probably got a real name. You can check it on IMDb. Don't come here for the facts.
I'm pretty sure his parents christened him that.
Yeah, that's it. Steve Buscemi's brother, guy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of another take, I guess, on zombie films, really, essentially.
Yeah, but I thought it was kind of an original take on zombie films. I'm really burned out with zombies. I mean, we did the review of Night of the Living Dead, the 1990 version, recently, as you might have seen, and I really enjoy that, going way back. But of all the kind of recent stuff that's come out, it's just, I find tends to be more of the same, more of the big apocalyptic kind of bullshit. The Walking Dead is just a rehash of Dawn of the Dead.
I think it says a lot about the zombie genre when a movie like 28 Days Later comes out and everyone goes nuts because the zombies can run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, 28 Days Later is a brilliant movie and I love it, but by adding in running, that completely revolutionised the genre again.
There were zombie films where they ran before that, but they were mostly pretty obscure and weird and didn't really... I don't know, I think Splinter is good. Splinter is more... It's not your typical Romero zombies at all. It's not really... What's so interesting about them is the way in which they move. So your standard zombie kind of walks about with his arms out or just shambles around the place. And every film that's taken the zombie from Night of the Living Dead onward has pretty much copied that, except for the ones where they run, but there's still similarities. With Splinter, it takes, in a way, kind of a logical step, because in movies like...
It brings in elements of films like The Thing as well. This kind of sentience almost.
So in movies like, for example, what do you call it, like Return of the Living Dead, where you've got zombies that are unkillable, their arms and stuff crawl around on their own. What Splinter does is it takes that sort of idea, but then makes it in a way more believable, because instead of like an arm just crawling around, there's actually an organism inside. Yeah, that's moving the body. So basically, the plot is, and you need to remind me of this because it's been a while since I've seen it. But some guys are out driving in the desert somewhere, and they...
No, I don't think anyone's in the desert.
Well, not the desert, but way out in the back.
I'm gonna let you keep doing this.
No, I'll let you try. And then there's something about a gas station and stuff. Like
Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith are on a spaceship and they're hacking into it. No, essentially what happens
where
is
the dogs get a man's face, or that's another Jeff Goldblum film.
Yeah, that's really creepy. Creepy that movie. You forget Jeff Goldblum's in the Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I just remember.
I actually did a podcast, which will be coming out at some point with Mike, where I had a total blank of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I totally forgot about it and had nothing to say about it, and then later on went, it's actually one of my favourite horror films. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is excellent, but that's not what this movie is. Right, so this kind of came out, it's kind of, rather than zombies, it's like a fungus. Yeah. And it came out at the time that... But are they not
in the desert? Are they not like out in the countryside, like in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, so it's like a kind of a couple that have gone out, and like the guy's not very outdoorsy, he's kind of like, he's a real city dweller, whereas she's kind of, his partner's kind of encouraged him to go out and do stuff, so they're going camping, and the camping kind of goes around, and then they're driving up the road, and they bump into this girl, and it turns out that this girl is kind of with this convict guy. They're trying to get to Mexico, and they kind of end up commandeering the car, and they get to this point. Well, they're not in Mexico yet, they're in the forest for this movie. Anyway, they get to a gas station, and these kind of zombie creatures start turning up. They've kind of been present up until this point in like kind of woodland critters, and then it kind of eventually transitions
that's right.
into humans.
So basically it's like a fungus, and it manifests as these kind of like strange fungus growths coming out of the skin like splinters, isn't it? So it's essentially like a fungus that moves the muscles on its own, so you can sever the limb from the body, but it's the fungus that's alive, the body's dead, so the fungus will still move, and it'll still kind of cause the muscles to move. And now, kind of,
it might, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe it may be the name of it may be the Cropidus fungus, or I may have read that from something else. There's this actual fungus that they found in ants mainly. Okay. That actually, that possesses the ant, has it do a variety of things and then essentially consumes the ant and passes it on to all. This is real life. It's pretty scary shit actually. It's scarier than this movie. Yeah. But it possesses the ant, kind of makes the ant do stuff, and the other ants...
It makes it go near water, doesn't it? It makes it climb to the top of a...
Whatever it can do to spread the fungus the most.
It makes it climb to the top of a blade of grass or a plant, and then it sprouts out over the water and then falls in the water.
But
there's also a... You know that there's like a bacteria or a fungus that lives in like cat shit.
Right.
That like 1 in 10 people are infected with, but most people don't know. I forget. But it's the thing the guy dies of in Trainspotting.
Oh yeah, right.
But it causes certain people with it display certain personality traits, and it's a kind of milder version.
There's a lot of scary shit like that, but essentially this one
it's quite realistic in that way. The film's quite realistic because there are things like that in the world.
Yeah,
you know, things like that do exist, which I think is what makes it different. It's also different in that they don't play the whole big apocalypse aspect.
No,
it's
very small.
It's localized and it's scary in the sense that there is this thing happening to these people in this place.
Which I think is also partly it's partly a byproduct of the budget as well.
Maybe, but there's lots of low budget films that try and do the apocalypse thing, and there's a lot of ways to try and do that cheaply.
I mean, you've probably got the same square footage as the likes of Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
It's confined to the same. It's
confined
in
a gas station, and the way that because it doesn't follow the same rules as normal zombies, it has some sort of different tropes. Different stuff happens, and you're not necessarily aware of what's going to happen. You know, the typical zombie movie: someone gets bitten, hides it, doesn't tell people he's bitten until the last minute, and he attacks. But I mean that happens in like maybe 90% of zombie movies.
Happens in this movie as well.
Does it happen?
Yeah, the guy gets infected and he hits it. Oh, spoiler!
Well, that's just shot that whole point in the foot then about it.
Yeah, it's interesting, this movie, from the point of view that it's got a lot of potential. I mean, the fungus is a real, or whatever it is, it's something natural anyway, has a real different angle, and as a result it separates itself from other movies. But the biggest issue it's got is, even though it's got this unique, or relatively unique thing to differentiate itself, it still manages to completely go down the standard paths and just adhere to so many stereotypes.
I guess in a way it does. I guess it does.
And I don't know if that's something that, as a horror film in general, it's hard to get out of that.
I guess it is quite hard to get out of it, but I just really liked it because it did the zombie thing. Well, they never call them zombies. They're not really zombies, but it does the whole thing.
There's no name for them, really.
They're a completely new monster, but I guess they follow some of the same tropes as zombies, but it's a new twist on it, and it's so rare to see a new twist on it. When they do tend to do the new twist on zombies, it's let's make them run, let's make them climb walls, let's make them fly. They're essentially the same creature, but they just add extra abilities. What this film does is it gives them a kind of different reason for being, and it gives them different traits altogether, a whole different kind of epistemology of their infection and all that kind of stuff. You're right in that it mixes in elements of the thing as well, because to the point that the creature can be broken down so small that different parts of it, and all of it's infectious, isn't it? The whole thing.
Well, it's just these spines
that
come
spores
out
that come out. So in that sense, it's got elements of the thing, it's got elements of zombie films, both of which, good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it's got elements of Night of the Living Dead as well, because they're trapped in this gas station. They're kind of enclosed
in one place.
Siege mechanic.
I think anyone that likes zombie films will like this film, and I think that people that are tired of zombie movies will find something in this movie to watch as well.
I would say that's a good way of putting it. I would say that if, like me, you once loved zombie films and are now burned out on zombie films, Splinter is a film that will give you the zombie kick without making you roll your eyes, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's by no means a brilliant film. But there's enjoyable elements of it.
It's a solid 6 or 7 out of 10, I would say.
It's a good breath of fresh air to a tired genre, but it also doesn't step far away enough from the genre that people that like zombie movies won't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I think,
I would recommend it.
I'd watch it.
I would recommend it kind of moderately. I wouldn't
particularly
I wouldn't climb over my grandmother to see it, but it's pretty good.
If you're in the Netflix club and you're low on movies to see, then I would definitely.
So after like the first night of having Netflix, you could probably watch this.
Yeah. guilty pleasure, and for some people I'm sure, and for some people I think will really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it's by no means a terrible film.
Cool.
Yeah. So
thanks
hopefully
a lot,
you've enjoyed this, and we've given you something else to watch. And as always, drop in the comments if you've seen this movie. And Michael says stay creepy, but it makes me feel a bit strange, so I'll just say bye.
Good night.